passionate book about the struggles of Goans to, remove the colonial power. And it tells you about the trying times, the oppression, the way the nationalists were treated in their struggle for freedom, Tivoli. This is it's a fictional village, and its prose is beautiful. You can start reading it and you will go on reading it. The language is exquisite, the descriptions wonderful. It tells a story of a young girl who was betrayed in love and finances abroad, comes back, makes acquaintances, finds that her past catches up with her present, and it talks of Tivoli being isolated from the world, no radio or just the radio, some travelers who would come and tell stories, but it talks about the rise of Hitler in Europe, the rise of Gandhiism in India, and how these impact on people who don't see these things, don't read about them, but are trying to make sense of this world that is outside their beautiful village of Tivoli.
She then spoke about a book on houses of Goa.
But it shows that there is an interest in the architecture. There are 200 color photographs in this book. It is beautifully produced, and even at this price, I would say it still sells well.
Another popular book is Goa Puri.
It's a bulletin of the Institute Menezes Briganza. It was brought out in 2001-2002, edited by Manohar Shetty. There are 4 books in this series. Heritage Planning, which is about the growth of our cities and how they have developed. Smoking Gun, which is about poets and poetry. Essays and Memoirs. This is a popular one if people buy it individually. It's got all kinds of topics: widow burning, Casados by Karma Azevedo, Christmas in Goa, all kinds of things. And Humor Special, which has the stray thoughts of Raja Narayan when he was in the Herald. It's got all kinds of printers' devils which have appeared in newspapers. It's got In Praise of Sorpotel by Philip Furtado, which I think everyone knows that poem, all kinds of stuff.
Umbrellas, Goddesses and Dreams is another book she spoke about under the essay section.
With Goa. In this book, he talks of his encounters with Goan politicians. He talks about women he has met who see apparitions. He talks about the chaos at the bus stops and the crossings. He talks about the Virgin Mary, Ramponkar, all kinds of things. And it's his take on how these people have responded to his interacting with them and his understanding of what makes our Goan society.
Followed by an archaeological sketch of the cities of Goa.
Now this is a book written in the 1830s, I think the book is written, republished now, but it's very authentic information. It's got descriptions of all the churches, of all the important archaeological places, and many times, it costs $5.95, not a small amount, but people buy the book.
She then moved on to books on environment. First in the list was Fish Curry and Rice.
Fish Curry and Rice, which sometimes is mistaken for the cookbook. And people, I think there's a recipe for curry in it. But this is a source book on Goa, its ecology and lifestyle, brought out by the Goa Foundation.
For those seeking to learn basic Konkani, she recommended Spoken Konkani. Lastly, she recommended 2 books called Call of the Snake and How to Be an Instant Goan.
It is a delightful account of not so much the snakes, but of how the Goans react to the snakes, and that's what makes it very funny. Rahul is a herpetologist, he's a snake catcher, and he responds to what are called snake calls. Someone calls up and says, "There's a snake in my garage, please come and catch it." There are something like 17 to 20 snake catchers incidentally in Goa. And today people don't kill snakes. They ring up a number and say, "Please come and take it." And of course, last but not the least, this runaway bestseller, Valentino Fernandez's How to Be an Instant Goan. Everyone picks up this book. They all want, when they are in Goa, to merge with the crowd. They want to be part of the Goan community, and they look for how to behave at a wedding, how to dance, how to go to East Africa, what to do here, what to do there.
This was followed by music by Joaquim de Souza on the saxophone, flute and accordion.
Before we end, here's a reminder of the headlines. Dumping of debris restarts along the Panjim-Ponda highway. High Court directs government to suggest measures to stop dumping of debris by the roadside. Jamaas not happy with the decision of Board of Approvals for SEZs, threatens second phase of its agitation. Supreme Court issue notices to government of Goa for scrapping Regional Plan 2011. That's all in today's bulletin. If you have a story that needs to be told, an issue that needs to be highlighted, email us at goa365@rediffmail.com or call us on 3290-335. Until then, goodbye and good night.